Good morning. Who miss me? Who miss me? Good morning. Who miss me? Yeah, so we are back again. We are back again with the live streams. Who miss me? If you have missed me, kindly drop a love emoji in the comment section. Who miss me? Who missed the live sessions? Who missed the live sessions? If you have missed the live session, kindly drop a love emoji in the comment section. Kindly drop a love emoji in the comment section. Kindly drop a love emoji in the comment section. Let me know I'm talking to the real human beings. Am I talking to robot? Who missed me? Who missed the live session? Drop a love emoji in the comment section. If you missed the live session, kindly drop a love emoji in the comment section. If you missed the love, the love. If you missed the live stream, kindly drop a love emoji in the comment section. It's been a while. This is my first time. Okay. Yeah, so I used to be having live stream. That was last 3 months or so for the last 3 months. And I stopped for some reason, but we are back again. We are back again. I used to be doing live stream every day from Monday to Friday, and it was stressful. But we are back again. Yeah, so what you are going to be doing in this live stream is we are going to do a chart breakdown, and if you see a tradable opportunity, you are going to take it together. You get it? So I'm going to break down the instrument that I trade, the pairs that I trade, and what you are going to break. I'm going to break it down with you people, mostly what I look for in a trade. Then when you are done, I will allow you to also bring your chart, or I will allow you to bring your pair that you want me to also analyze. Yeah, so that's what you are going to be doing. Yeah, so if you just join the stream, kindly give a like. You click on you give a like to the video or the stream, okay, so that the algorithm will recommend the video to a lot of people who are also struggling to find out how to analyze the market. Yeah, so if you have any question to you, drop it in the comment section too as well. So let's analyze the charts. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. All right, so let me analyze the instrument that I trade. Okay, let's break down the instrument that I look to be trading this morning. So first of all, let's analyze gold and see what you're expecting this morning. So let's analyze gold. So you analyze gold, you analyze GBP, JPY, then you analyze USD cards as well. So let me clean up the charts. Then you will analyze GBP, USD, BTC. I think NAS looks like it's kind of giving an opportunity, but currently, so you break down NAS too as well. So first of all, let's start with gold and let's see what you're expecting this morning on gold. Is the music loud? If the music is loud, please kindly let me know. If the music is loud, please kindly let me know in the comment section. If the music is loud, please kindly let me know in the comment section. So if you just join the stream, you give a like to the stream as well. Yeah, so I'm doing this for the love of those doing this for the love of the game. You get it? I really love analyzing, really love talking about trading. You get it? So I'm doing it for the love of the game. Yeah, so let's first of all start with gold. So as I said, if the music is loud, please kindly let me know. Drop your feedback in the comment section so that I will know how to adjust it. Let me. I feel like it's loud. All right. So let's first of all start with gold. What you are expecting? So with gold USD, so first of all, let's look at the fundamentals. Okay, so anytime, if you are a beginner over here, anytime you are doing your analysis, anytime you come to the chart, the first thing you have to do is what? You have to go to check out the fundamentals. I've been saying this thing time and time. When it comes to the Forex markets, or when it comes to trading commodities, they are all influenced by, especially when it comes to currencies. Currencies are influenced by the country that it belongs. So any activities happening in the country is having a direct reflection or direct impact on the movement of the currencies too as well. You get it. So you have to know what is going on in the economy so that you don't get trapped. Okay, if there was going to be a CPI, if there was going to be retail sales, you don't get trapped in those news release. You have to always make sure you know the time that all these news are going to be released. You get it. You know the time that all these news. So you have to first of all you will check the economic calendar and see what we have for the day. Okay, so today is Wednesday, which is 16th of what? 16th of today is today is Wednesday, 17th of September 2025. So the year is gradually ending. Yeah. So September 2025, 17th. So 6 a.m. So GBP, we were having CPI on GBP. So I'm very sure the news has been released already. So let's see the impact. So it was the same numbers that was released to as well on CPI. It was the same numbers that was released on CPI. So when it happens like that, most often it becomes very difficult for you to predict. So let's see what happened on GBP. The same numbers was released, so that means they kept it was the same distance. So that's why you are seeing back and forth on this movement. You get it? You are seeing back and forth on GBP JPY. It tried moving up and it's now what fallen. So that's the results of what when you have the numbers being the same. That's what mostly happened. So the actual numbers was the same as the forecasted number, which was 3.8%. The actual numbers too was also 3.8%. You get it? So CPI, when you talk about CPI simply, it's also the same as what? Inflation. Okay. Inflation simply means persistence increase in general price of goods and services. So if goods and services are constantly increasing, okay, if you go to the market today, the price of tomatoes is 5 cedis. The following day you go to the market, the price of tomatoes is like $10. Okay, anytime you go to the market, the price of goods and services are increasing. That's what we term it as what? Inflation. Okay, so inflation is something good for the economy too as well. When you talk about inflation, it's something good for the economy. In the sight, not to the economy, but in the sight of an investor, okay, or a speculator, it's something good because when inflation is high, what's going to happen is what the central bank is going to increase what their rate to combat such inflation. You get it? To take money from the pocket of people. When goods and services are increased, it means that people can afford. Okay, people can afford all these goods. That's why sellers are also increasing their price, because anytime they mention price, these people don't back in. They just what pull money from their pocket and they just pay. So that's why what do you call it? inflation is Inflation is something good, because what will happen is what the central bank will increase the rates. Okay, when he increase the rates, what's going to happen is what people will love to invest in such economy, because anytime you invest, you are going to get huge returns on what your money. So it is something good for the economy. You get it? Inflation is something good for the economy. So that's what you need to understand. So they kept it. It was the same numbers as forecasted. Okay, it was the same numbers as forecasted. But I didn't. I'm not according to what I'm seeing. The candles that I'm seeing over here, I don't see it to be. It wasn't other impactful. Okay, CPRs, should be something you have to be seeing big candles. But what I'm seeing over here is not something big as we used to know. So that's what mostly happens. Yeah. So let's check out news and see if there was any unannounced news that was released. So looking at the news, there was no unannounced news that was released. Okay, there was no unannounced news that was released. So looking at, yeah, so the lending session, we don't have any high impact news during the lending session. We don't have any high impact news. So the next news release is going to be around 1:45 p.m. GMT. That's going to be Bank of Canada rate statement, and yeah, interest rate on the Canadian dollar. And 2:30 p.m. GMT, you are going to be having Bank of, yeah. So it's the same thing. Okay, so today we are going to be having FOMC. Yeah, so what I'm expecting is gold after the lending session. The chances that the movement of gold is going to be very slow. That's what I'm anticipating. Okay, mostly when we are having FOMC, all the speculators, those who predict the movement of the movement of price, or investors are going to hold on for the rate to be released before they will make a decision. So one thing I've noticed, or one thing I've realized, is mostly when the news is about to be released, what's going to happen is what the market is going to be dry. The market is going to move slowly unless what the news has been released after the lending session. That's what I'm expecting. So let's analyze gold and see what you're expecting this morning. What I'm expecting this morning. What are we expecting this morning? Okay, so let's first of all move to the monthly time frame. So gold has already got into all-time high. Okay, it got to the all-time high. Okay, that means price got to a level that it hasn't gotten there before. You get it? Price got to a level that it hasn't gotten there before. So you first of all start with the monthly time frame to know the reactional levels. Okay, so some people will call it yeah, reactional levels, other blocks. So they are all support and resistance levels. So you get to the support and resistance, you are going to plot out the support and resistance level. Then after plotting out the support and resistance level, you get to what you will get to know the direction of the market. That's what is going to help us to know if you are to take a buy or if you are to take a sell. Okay, so moving to the monthly time frame, these are the various reactional levels. So weekly time frame, so price is currently uptrend. Okay, price is currently uptrend. So if price decides to come back, this is a level that price is going to what respect. You get it? This is a level that price is going to respect. So since price hasn't got into this level, what I'm going to do is what I'm going to bring this one over here. Okay, this is the immediate one. If price decides to come down, it's going to come down to this level. So this is the immediate one. You feel me? This is the immediate one. Yeah. So you move to the daily time frame. So that's the only thing that we are going to be doing at the monthly time frame. So this is the only reactional level that we are going to plot on the chart. Okay. So moving to the daily time frame. At the daily time frame, the trend is also what an uptrend. Okay, if you change it to a line chart, you can see it clearly that what price has been doing higher highs and higher lows. So the trend currently is an uptrend. Okay, so you bring out the levels that if price is retracing, it's going to come to this level. Okay, so we are plotting this level to be aware. We are plotting these levels to be aware anytime price get there, we don't get trapped. Okay, because price mostly reacts on what reactional levels. You feel me? Price reacts on these levels. Anytime price will get to those levels, you are going to react. Okay, so the reaction can either be breakout or a pullback. So these are the various reactional levels. So you move to the weekly the H4 time frame. So this is where we decide on what the trend. Okay, this is where you decide on the trend. So the H4 time frame. What's the H4 time frame trend? So how are you going to know the direction? This is what is going to help us to know the direction. This is where I mostly decide my direction. Okay, if I want to take a sell or if I want to take a buy, I decide over here so that when I go to the lower time frame, I will know exactly what I'll be looking for. Okay, so if this time frame is telling me a buy, when I move to the lower time frame, okay, if this time frame, like especially when it comes to the H4 time frame, if the H4 time frame is telling me what the market is what an uptrend, when I move to the lower time frame, I'm going to be looking for what a buy. If the H4 time frame tells me what it's a downtrend, when I move to the lower time frame, I'm going to be looking for what a sell. So I classify this time frame as my it's like the frame. Okay, is the frame, it's my frame time frame. Okay, yeah, my directional bias. So what's the direction of this market? So this is how you are going to decide on the direction of the market. So currently price made higher high over here, so there was some minor pullbacks over here, but it's still what an uptrend. So you notice that price currently did a complex structure over here where this trend has been broken. You get it? This high low has been broken. So currently the trend at the H4 time frame is what an uptrend. So this is where we had a shift in trend or a change in structure, or some people call it a change in character, but it's the same thing. It's just a shift in trend. So there was a shift in trend. Currently, we what previously the trend was what a downtrend, but this is where there was this candle closed below this one, turned the trend to what a downtrend. So at this point, the trend is what a downtrend. So let's identify the levels that we are going to expect to take trace on. So there was a level over here. Okay, so you change it to a line chart. So there was another level over here. So if price decides to pull back, okay, so I think there was, if price decides to pull back, it's going to either pull back on this level or it's going to pull back on this level. These are the various levels that you're expecting. So I'm expecting price to head, so you have clean zones to this side. Okay, so this is the zone. So then you move to the lower time frame. I'm seeing price just made a pullback over here. So there was a nice entry to over here. Okay, but price is already gone. Yeah, at a 5 minute time frame, price pulled back on this level. You see how price retested on this level. Price broke, made a pullback on this level. You get it? You see, it tested on the level exactly. So mostly I look for my entries on these levels that I indicated on the chart. So there was a perfect entry over here. Price pulled back over here. Price pulled back over here. But price is it's already gone. It's already gone. Yeah. So price, the 5 minute time frame pulled back. Okay, it's pulled back on the level and just continue moving. Just made a perfect break, pulled back on the level. So this would have been a nice. So this is something. This is a theory that I'm testing it out. on the H5 time frame. I mostly don't trade the M5 time frame, but on gold, I'm testing the M5, and I did my back test. Now you notice mostly it's the 5 minute time frame also plays out a lot. Yeah, so it's already gone. Okay, so this would have been a scalp trade if you want to scalp. Price just came and tested. You see, it broke out from the zone. You get it? It broke out from the zone, pulled back over here, and you see, it just continued. Yeah, but we have more zones. Okay, there's more zones to be filled. There's more zones to be filled, but currently it has moved. So looking at it, so this is far from the area of interest. Okay, this is the level. So price is currently far from. So I trade similar gold on crypto exchange, trying to close later FMC market flow. Okay, price has already moved from the level. Yeah, so it has already moved. So this is a scalping system. So when you are taking a trade, you need to take them on what? The reactional levels. The levels, okay? If you want to scalp, these are the levels you take the trade on. Alright, so another trade that I was looking for, yeah, NAS2 is looking good. If you look at NAS 100, it's also giving an opportunity. And okay, so today we are going to be having FOMC. So I was even targeting to be taking it on during the FOMC. Sorry, during the New York Stock Exchange session. Because you are going to be having FOMC, the chances that it's going to move slowly is very high, because this is mostly influenced by the tech companies. Okay, 50 tech companies. So it's mostly make moves during the New York Stock Exchange session. That's when the stock market is open. So that's when it mostly makes moves. Okay, that's when it mostly makes moves. So at this point, these are the various levels. So you have to, the levels are very important. So these are the levels that you are going to be taking trades on. Okay, you don't have to take trades at any like any level in the market. You get it? You need to know your key levels, then you take trades on them. Okay, it's going to save you a lot if you adapt this concept. It's going to save you a lot. So if price as price has broken out from the zone, I'm expecting price to come back to these levels. Okay, so these are my key levels. So this is the only thing. So you have to look left, because you have to look left. Price reacts. Okay, if price is moving, it's going to look left and see if you have any reactional level. Okay, if you have any reactional, there's no reactional level looking left. Consider. Okay, so this one too has also got into all time. It has got into the highest level, highest price level that it hasn't got into. So this is where it was listed. So this where currently, so the stock market is currently heading up. It's doing well. Okay, so moving to, so more people are buying stocks, more people are into believing in the companies. So moving to the weekly time frame. Okay, moving to the weekly time frame. So these are the various reactional levels. Okay, these are the various reactional levels. So this one too, there's no data to our left. If you move left, there's no data to our left. So we are expecting price to come to this level, then it will continue up. So moving to the daily time frame. So looking at the daily time frame, we identify the levels. Okay, as price is moving, as I'm saying, anytime you are plotting your levels, you need to look left. So as price is moving, you need to look here. So there was a level over here, price retested. So this level has become invalid because price pulled back this level. So currently price is continuing. So as price is moving up, we are expecting expecting a pullback. Okay, so if it is pulling back, it's going to pull back on this levels. You get it? Going to pull back on this level. So let's plot them out. So there was a level over here at the daily time frame. So currently, I'm expecting price to come to this level at the daily time frame. So there was another resistance over here. Okay, so if you want to know the key levels, you change it to line chart. If you change it to line chart, you see it very well. Okay, so I'm expecting price to come to these various levels. I'm expecting price to come to these various levels. I'm expecting price to break out from this zone. So moving to the H4 time frame. Yeah. So this is what I'm expecting. So currently the H4 time frame, the trend is what? An uptrend. So you can clearly see what highs and lows. You get it? You can clearly see the highs and lows. The highs and lows. So currently price. So when I was about to sleep, I saw this one. So I was even thinking by the time I wake up, this one has already moved. That was what I was thinking. But I wake up and fortunately it just pulled back to give a better opportunity when the New York Stock Exchange session opened. So currently, if you are trying to bring the daily time frame into account, you notice that the daily time frame trend is also what? An uptrend. Okay, and the H4 time frame is also an uptrend. So at this point, what I'm expecting is I'm expecting the daily time frame. Sorry, I'm expecting the H4 time frame. So we are having what? A zone over here. You get it? There was a zone over here. There was a reactional level over here. There was a reactional level over here. So at this point, what I'm expecting is what? I'm expecting price to break out from this zone because this is currently in a consolidation. Okay, there was another zone over here. Price is currently in a consolidation. I don't want to be trapped in this consolidation. So I want price to break out. If this candle happens to break above this one, okay, if the candle breaks above this one, this is where I would love to take a buy. Okay, if the candle does something like this, then I'll comfortably take a buy and target this one because if you look at your left, there's no zone, there's no reactional levels over here, there's no key levels over here. So at this point, I don't want to be part of this move. Okay, I don't want to be part of this move. I see it to be a consolidation. I see it to be a zone where it's very difficult for you to take trades in. So if you move to the H1 time frame, let's see it well. Yeah, so currently, and the zone is not wide. Okay, the zone is not wide. Anytime price is moving, so let's say maybe I've taken a buy over here. If price is heading up, I can't be in the trade for a very long time. It's going to be very difficult for me to manage this trade because price is what currently what it is not far from for price to get what the target. You get it? It's not far. Price is going to get to the target. I think this is 8 pips, 8 points. So I'm not interested in this move. I'm interested in this bigger zone. I want to take trades in this bigger zone. I want to take trades in this bigger zone. So I'm not interested in this small zone over here. So at this point, I would love price, okay, especially I would love to see the H4 candle breaking above this one. So you can mark it on your chart and keep monitoring. Okay, this is what I'm expecting it to happen. This is what I'm expecting it to happen. So I want, as the candle has broken above, the next candle to head to this side. This is what I'm expecting. I don't want to be part of the current move. Okay, I don't want to be part of the current move. So I would love price to come to this side then what? I'll comfortably take a buy. So it's all about patience, okay? Wait for something that you are familiar with. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for something that I'm familiar with. You don't have to bet your money on something that you don't know. It's like investing in something that you don't know. Okay, so gold is doing well. Exactly what I said. Uh, it's currently doing well. It's currently doing well. Wow. So this one would have easily given me. I didn't come to the stream early. This one would have easily given 1 to 3. Yeah, this 1 to 3 would have easily given 1 to 3 because this is what the zone. Okay, this is the zone, and if you pull back to the M5 time frame, you notice that it's made a perfect pullback. It's made a perfect pullback. It's made a perfect pullback on the zone. Yeah. So it has already moved. I didn't come early. I didn't come to the stream early. Okay, so let's move to. So if you have any chart that you want me to analyze, you can drop it in the the comment section. Yeah. So far these are the pairs that these are the instrument that I'm concentrating on. Gold, GBP, JPY. You are doing good. Keep it up. Thank you. So let's analyze USD card and see. So USD card yesterday, there was a zone that I targeted to be taken, but I never got it. I was anticipating a huge sell. So let's move to USD card. Okay, so when you move to the USD card, looking at the monthly time frame. So anytime I'm doing my analysis, I do top-down analysis. You get it? I do top-down analysis. So currently, what I'm expecting on the monthly time frame, there was a zone over here. Okay, there was another zone over here. There was another zone over here at the monthly time frame. So these are the various zones. So the zones are very important because you are going to be taking trades on these zones. These are the zones that you are going to be taking trades on them. You are not going to buy because mostly price respect those zones. Okay, price respect those zones. So you move to the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we have a reactional level over here. We have a reactional level over here at the weekly time frame. Okay, you change it to line chart at the weekly time frame. This is a valid level, okay, because when price move up, okay, move down, higher high, higher low, higher high, it made lower low over here. It came back, broke this one, made it higher high. So price is currently, as it's pulling back, this is the current, or this is the immediate what reactional level. So if price gets to this side, so you see price is currently struggling to break below this level. Okay, so it's currently reacting on this level. You get me? It's currently reacting on this level. So moving to the daily time frame, if you move to the daily time frame, so this is where mostly I check the trend. Okay, what is market structure telling me? Is the trend a downtrend? Is the trend an uptrend? Okay, so this is what is going to help me if in case maybe the higher time frame is not giving me an entry, or if in case maybe the higher time frame is giving me an entry but the stop loss is very wide, then I'll move to the lower time frame and look for an entry. So I will decide if this one is an uptrend, I'll look for a buy on the higher time frame. If this one is a downtrend, I'll look for a sell at a lower time frame. So currently the trend at the H4 time frame is a downtrend. Okay, yesterday I anticipated a huge sell on gold. Do you know the reason? If you look at this, if you plot out your trend line, you notice that there were several trend line touches that the candle broke. So there was one point over here, there was point A over here, there was point B over here. So that's why yesterday I was rooting for a sell on this. I was rooting for a sell on USD card, but I never got an entry. And H42 gave us a clear zone. Okay, it gave us a clear zone. Price broke. So this was yesterday's candle. So yesterday I was rooting for a huge sell over here. Okay, so you see there was one touch over here, so two touch trend line over here, and you can notice that price, the candle has broken this one. Okay, the candle has broken this one. So if price is deciding to pull back, it's going to pull back on this level. So there was another reactional level over here. Okay, so since the candle, this is not any other time frame candle than the daily time frame. And you know the daily time frame, it takes time for things to align. It takes time for what the candle to close, or the candle to the candle to close. And this daily candle closed below this reactional level. So there was one point over here at the daily time frame, one point over here, there was another point over here. So you see the number of times it took for these levels to be created or formed. This was what, Wednesday, 23rd July. So see the number of months it took for this for these zones to be what, to form. How many? So we are in September, July, August, September. So 2 months. It took 2 months for this structure to form. And now this candle has broken. So it tells you that this one will fall heavily. So yesterday, looking at the daily structure and how things are being printed over here, I was rooting for a sell. Okay, and the H4 time, so the daily time frame is currently what, a downtrend. If you look at structure, okay, if you look at the structure price, you notice that this candle broke above this one. Okay, the candle broke above this one. So this was what do you call it, the trend shifted over here to an uptrend, and currently price has broken this one too as well. This level 2 has been broken. So now the trend has shifted towards a downtrend. So if you move to the H4 time frame, so this is where you are going to decide on what to do when you move to the lower time frame. Are you going to be looking for a sell, or are you going to be looking for a buy? So price was over here yesterday. So this was 17, so 15. So let's fast forward price. So let's identify the various reactional levels. So there was a reactional level over here. Okay, there was a reactional level over here. So you have to make sure it has touched its wall. Okay, so the candle, you notice that the candle, okay, you notice that the candle, I think the candle broke. Yeah, so this candle broke. So I was looking for a sell, okay, to target this zone. Over here, but I never got an entry. If I move to the lower time frame, I noticed that the lower time frame price was far. Okay, so it didn't give me an entry. Price was far from. So this was 6 o'clock. Yeah, so this is not time for me to execute trade. Yeah, so 6 o'clock was over here. By price, I was expecting price to come and touch this level. So because of that, I didn't take the sell. Okay, I was expecting the candle to come over here, then I'll take a sell. If I took it over here, if I'm going into drawdown, it's going to be what, a deep drawdown. Because if you are taking a trade, you have to anticipate drawdowns too as well. You get it? You need to anticipate drawdown too as well. So if I take a sell over here and price decide to come back, I'm going to be in a deep drawdown before, if price decide to come back, to be in a break even. You get it? So I didn't take this sell. Okay, I didn't take this sell. And fortunately, what happened is what price pulled back to. So I would have been in profit, by price pulled back. Okay, I didn't take the trade. And looking at the H4 time frame, I noticed that the H4 time frame candle has broken below this one. So this was during the New York session. So this one has become the new support. Okay, before this candle this one has become the new support. But as price has pulled back, why is it slow? Can you hear me? Yeah, so as I'm saying, yeah, so we were at this point, so then I think the network was very slow. Yo, so as price has pulled back over here, you get it. As price has pulled back over here, there was no reactional level because at this point, this level has been invalidated. So there was no reactional level over here. You get it. So I was expecting this candle to maybe close below small. Then I would take a sell during the New York session. But I never saw something of that sort. So what happened is what price just moved fast to the target. So you see how price tested the weekly level. You see how price tested the weekly level and just continuing and currently pulling back. So at this point, what I'm expecting from this trade, looking at the daily time frame, what I'm expecting is what if price can give us a pullback. Today is Wednesday, so maybe if price can pull back to this level, then I'll take a continuation of the trend to this side. That's what I'm expecting it to happen. If price can pull back to this level, then I'll take the continuation of the trend. So at this point, I'm not interested in taking a buy because my H4 time frame tells me what a downtrend. Okay, so I'm not interested in taking a buy. But this is a counter trend trade. Okay, if you are taking a buy, it's a counter trends are very risky because the price can just continue the trend. Okay, the trend can continue and you are going to be trapped. So if price can just create a resistance over here, then I'll be looking for a sell. Okay, it can just create a resistance in the middle of the range, something like this. If it can create something like this in the middle of the range, okay, then I will be looking for a sell. So counter trends are very risky, and counter trends are based on the time frame you are focusing on. Okay, so looks like a counter trend at the H4 time frame, but if you move to the M30, it might be a trend. Okay, it might be in the direction of the market. So this was an uptrend. Okay, so I said counter trends are what subjective based on the time frame you are focusing on. So this is H4 time frame. So I see it to be what a downtrend. Okay, I see it to be a down. So I want a support to be created. Sorry, I want a resistance to be created. If a resistance creates, if price creates a resistance, then I'll be looking for what a sell. You get it? Then I'll be looking for a sell. Yeah. So let me check out some gold. So gold pulled back again. It's pulled back. So it was a scalp trade. So let's analyze GBP USD. So I tried three similar gold on crypto and exchange. What does it mean? I tried three similar gold on crypto exchange. Do crypto exchanges provide what do you call it? Do they provide commodities? That's fine. If you were allowed to trade it, that's fine. Trying to close later FOMC depending on the market flow. I tried trade gold. Okay, so that means you mean you took a sell earlier on gold. Yeah, so today is FOMC. So I'm very sure during the New York session the market is going to be very slow. You are doing good. Thank you. The market is going to be very slow especially on gold. It's going to be very slow from my experience, but you can't predict gold. Gold can move anytime. So let's check out on GU. So GU, this move was something that happened during the New York session, and I really, really got annoyed on this move. This one would have been an easy move over here, but price decided to just consolidate. Sorry, it moved during the New York, the Asian session, so we couldn't take advantage of this one. So with GU, so with NAS, okay, you take note of them. So NAS is currently playing out. It has gotten to the target. So at this point, I want price to. So we have like 2 hours. So I want price this candle to break and close above this one. Then I'll be looking for a buy on NAS 100. Okay, I want price to break above this one. If the candle breaks above this one, then I'll be looking for what? A buy on NAS 100. Okay, and I'll be looking for a buy on NAS 100. So with gold, at this point, I will love this candle to also close. If it's close, then I'll be looking for this. So this is going to be a breakout trade. Then I'll be looking for what? A sell to again. Okay, then I'll be looking for a sell trade. So that's what I'll be expecting on gold. I would love this candle to close. Then I will decide on what to take a sell because the trend is what? A downtrend. So I have to follow the trend at the H4 time frame. So you have more zones over here for price to fill. There's more zones to the side. So looking at the H4 time frame on GBP JPY. So looking at GBP JPY, I've already talked about it. So we've talked about USD card. So USD card, I said I'm waiting for a pullback. I'm waiting for a pullback or price giving me what? A support over here. Then I'll go in forward. I'll look forward a sell. So so you see the reason I said counter trend trades are very risky. So price is currently pulling back. So as suppose maybe you took a buy, you are going to be trapped with this what? So follow the trend. It's very important to follow the trend. So looking at GJ currently, let's plot out the various levels at the higher time frame. So this week I've taken only one trade, a buy which I took on. That was it on Tuesday? I took a buy on gold. It was a heavy, huge buy. Yeah, I took a sell on gold, and at the same time I took a buy on gold. So that's the only trade I've taken this week. So these are the various levels. So looking at the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we have this reactional level over here at the weekly time frame. We have another reactional level over here. So if price decide to move up, you get it. If price decide to move up, if price is moving up, these are the various levels that we're expecting price to test on. Okay, so these are the various levels. So if price is pulling back, we're expecting it to pull back on this level, expecting it to pull back on this level. So these are the various levels that I'm expecting to be taking trades on. Okay, as I said, I trade on levels, the support and resistance levels, the demand and support levels. Okay, so moving to the daily time frame. What's the trend at the daily time frame? What's the trend at the daily time? So currently the trend at the daily time frame is what? An uptrend. So you see price action is kind of very sketchy. It's very chubby. It's not clear. You get it. Price action is currently, but it's what? An uptrend. If you have an experience on how to read price, you will clearly see that trend is what? An uptrend. Price just made highs. It just pulled back over here. Just made high. Just pulled back. Made high. Pulled back over here. So at this point, the trend is what? An uptrend. Okay, the trend currently is an uptrend. So let's plot out our various levels. You get it. Let's plot out our various levels. So if you want to, if the candles are not clear, okay, if the candles are giving you a lot of errors, a lot of gaps, the simple way to what identify the levels is you turn it towards a line chart. So if you turn it to a line chart, these are the various levels. So these are the various levels. at the daily time frame, these are the various levels. So if you move to this, is also what another level over here. So moving to the H4 time frame, so this is where you will decide. So you see, when you move to the daily time frame, you will clearly see that the daily time frame trend is what, an uptrend. But when you move to the H4 time frame, the trend is currently what, a downtrend. You get it? Okay. So this is giving a nice opportunity over here. Let me see if I'll be able to take it. So, but the zone is very choked. The zone is very small. The zone is very small. This is 10 pips. Let me move to the lower time frame. I think it's giving an opportunity. There's no the trade. Yeah. So this is going to be taking a sell over here. The zone is very small. You see, when it comes to these major pairs, the spread is very high on them. So if you don't get a good zone, if you don't get a big zone, I think it's no. Let me check it well. At the H4 time frame, I think this one is giving an opportunity. The daily time frame, moving to the H4 time frame, the zone is very small. The zone is very small. I would have taken a sell quick over here, but the zone is very small. The zone is very small. The zone is very small. Yeah, the zone is very small. The zone is very small. The zone is very small. If I'm taking a sell over here, if I take a sell over here, taking spread out of this one, I'm going to be trapped by this move. You get it? And the spread too is very high. The spread is very high. So let's monitor. But I'm expecting price to come to this level. I'm expecting price to come to this level. Yeah. So let's see. The zone is very small. So let's move on to, yeah. Let's move on to BTC USD. The zone is very small on GG. So on BTC USD, moving to the higher time frames. So these are the various levels. These are the various levels. These are the various levels. So moving to the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we have a reactional level over here. We have another reactional level over here at the weekly time frame. So moving to the daily time frame. At the daily time frame, we have another reactional level over here. So these are the levels that if price is approaching, we are going to see a reaction. You get it? You are going to see a reaction. Yeah, so the daily time frame trend is what? The daily time frame trend is currently an uptrend. Okay, so price did. So this is where we had a shift in trend over here. So there was a shift in trend at this point. Price shifted trend over here. Okay, price shifted trend. There was a shift in trend over here because price made lower low, lower high, lower low. So there was a shift in trend over here. So this is where the trend shifted towards an uptrend. Okay, the trend shifted to an uptrend at this point. So it just made higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So currently the trend at the H4 time frame is the daily time frame is what? An uptrend. It keeps on making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. So at this point the trend is what? An uptrend. You get it, the trend is an uptrend. So price is currently what? Getting close to what? This reactional level. Price is currently getting close to this reactional levels. Okay, at the daily time frame. So let's move to the H4 time frame. So if you move to the H4 time frame, at this point, price is currently heading towards this reactional level. Okay, at the H4 time frame. So the zone is very small at this point. We don't have to trade zones like markets where the zone is very small. If the zone is small, one thing you have to understand about zones is what? Price is currently, when price is approaching the zone, you're going to take spread out of the zone, and the chances that price is not going to get to the zone exactly is very high. So we need to factor all those things into consideration. You get it? The zone is very small. So at this point, what you wait for is what? You need to wait for price to break out from this zone and get to this side before you make a decision. Okay, I think this zone is it's enough. But at this point, price has even moved from what? The reactional level. You get it? Price has currently moved from the reactional level. So what you are going to be waiting for is what? Either it pulls back on this reactional level, then we take the continuation, or it breaks out from this zone, then we take a pullback, then it's what? Expect this level. That's what you are expecting. You get it? That's what you are expecting. So currently, BTC USD is what? In a zone. Okay, it's currently in a zone. So that's what we are expecting price to break out from these zones. Then what? We take a perfect trade. Okay, so this zone looks clean. This zone looks clean. So you wait for price to what? Come to this zone, then we take a decision. That's what we are expecting from this market currently on BTC. Yeah, currently on BTC, it has already moved. So when price was over here, I was anticipating, or I was expecting price to keep on moving high, but this one happened when there was no active market section. Yeah, so at this point, these are the pairs that I look for anytime I come to the market. These are the pairs that I look for. Good, keeps on moving. Good keeps on moving. now I've fallen in love with gold. Currently love the movement of gold. Yeah, so these are the trades. Yeah, so exactly what I'm expecting. I'm expecting USD CAD to move to this side. It is doing exactly what I'm planning of. Exactly, it is doing. GBP JPY too. As I indicated, the zone is very small, so it's also doing what the zone is currently small. You can't take trades in this small zone, so it is pulling back. It is pulling back. The zone is, oh, it's not something that we're taking. So GBP USD two, I'm expecting a pullback. Okay, I'm expecting a pullback on this level. I'm expecting a pullback on this level. I'm expecting a pullback on this level. Then I'll take the continuation of the trend. Okay. Yeah. So NAS 100, as I analyze, you can see that it's currently what in a range over here. Okay. It's currently in a range over here. So this is not a zone that we need to take a trade in. This is not a zone that you need to take a trade in. So these are the things. So when you come to NAS 100, I'm going to wait for price to break above this one, then I'll take a trade. Okay, so this is going to be on top of my watch list. Looking at gold, as I indicated earlier, gold has already moved. It has already moved. So the first entry would have been here, but currently when it broke out from this side, you can't take a trade over here because it has moved from what the reactional level. So this would have been the nice entry to be taken. This point, price has already moved, so I can't take a trade over here. So take trades on the reactional levels. Okay, so on USD CAD too, as I'm saying, I'm expecting price to come to this side. Then I'll take the continuation. Looking at GBP JPY, GBP JPY is currently in a zone. It's in a consolidating, like it's in a zone. Okay, so yeah, unless it breaks out, okay, unless it breaks out before we can take a trade in. So looking at GBP USD, as I'm saying, I'm expecting price to come to this level. This is going to be the level I'll be looking for a buy on GBP USD. This is the level I'll be looking for a buy on. And BTC is currently heading towards what? A zone. You get it? It's also heading towards a zone. Yeah, so at this point, so today we are going to be having FOMC. Okay, so this is going to be the interest rate release on what the Fed is going to release their interest rates on the US economy, either to cut rates. Are they going to cut rates or they are going to? So looking at this one, it looks like they are going to cut rates. Okay, 4.25, and the previous numbers was 4.5. So because Trump has been talking about rate cuts, is it going to come into reality at this time? If they cut rates, then what's going to happen to the dollar is what the dollar is going to be weak, because people will not love to invest in a country where their interest rate is very low. So if they are going to cut rates, then what's going to happen is what the dollar is going to be weak. So if the dollar is weak, then gold is supposed to keep on pumping up. Gold is going to rise. If it happens they cut rates, then gold is going to move up. So you keep on monitoring. Okay, you keep on monitoring and see what's going to happen. If they decide to cut rates, then the dollar is going to be weak. Okay, because looking at the fundamentals, you notice that Trump has been talking about, if you look at the past distance, so rates back a dovish 25, yeah, hawkish 55. So I'm very sure they will cut rates because Trump has been talking about it. Fed meeting likely to produce first. Yeah, so exactly. So you see the rumors. The rumors are all saying they are going to cut rate. First rate cut of 2025 will keep it. Will it keep going? Yeah. So if it happens they cut rate, then gold is going to pump up. Gold is going to be very strong. Okay. Investors are going to move their funds in gold. Okay, investors are going to move their funds in gold. So what's going to happen is what gold is going to move up because there's a lot of demand for gold. So prices are also going to what move up. So that's what is going to happen. So let's wait and see. It's going to happen at okay. It's going to happen during the after the New York session. Yeah, during the New York session. Yeah, 6 p.m. GMT. That's when it's going to be what they are going to release the rates. So I'll be watching it and see. But I don't trade high impact news. You get it? I don't trade high impact news. So you will trade it. You can trade it when the news has already when it gets released and you notice that oh they cut rate. Then you wait for a pullback at the lower time frame. You wait for a pullback, then you take the continuation of the trend. That's what mostly I do. After the news has been released, I wait for like 5 minutes to 10 minutes. I wait for a pullback, then what I take the continuation of what it was said about. That's what mostly I do. So if you have any question, kindly drop it in the chat box. Kindly drop it in the chat box. If you have any question, kindly drop it in the chat box. Yeah, so USD card is doing exactly what I said. Yeah. Thank you all for joining today's live stream. So it's going to continue, okay? So if you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. If you have any difficulty too, you can drop it in the chat box so that I will address your questions. If you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box. Then I will address your questions too as well. It's going to continue this time around. Every it's going to be every Tuesday rather. It's going to be every Tuesday. I'll be live on my YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly do well to subscribe so that when I come live, you get the notification. Okay. So guys, if there was no question, see you all next time. So kindly take note of the pairs that I said I'm watching. Especially NAS 100 is on top of my watch list. I just want this one to close. So exactly, it is doing exactly what I said. So you have 1 hour 37 minutes. The moment it closes, I'll be looking for a buy on NAS 100. I'll wait for a pullback. Okay, then what's looking for a buy? Exactly what I anticipated it to be happening. So I'm waiting for this candle to close, then I'll look for a buy on NAS 100. Gold has already moved. USD card is also pulling back. I want it to pull back, create a resistance, then I'll take a sell. So GBP JPY, the zone is choked, so we can't take a sell on this one. Yeah, GBP USD2 is pulling back. I want it to pull back on this level, then I'll take a buy. So I currently am monitoring NAS 100. Okay, so we have like 1 hour 37 minutes for this candle to close. When it's closed, if it happens it's close above, then I'll be looking for a buy on NAS 100. All right, guys. So I'm going to be having boot camp on 16th. Okay, or the boot camp. So you see how I mostly draw my levels, the reactional levels, and those stuffs. If you are confused on how I take a trade, how I even look forward to take a trade on my this thing, you can join the boot camp. I will explain everything clear to you, where you are going to understand how I look, what I look for before I will execute a trade. Before I will execute a trade. Okay, before I will execute a trade. So if you want to be part, you can my details is in the description box, description section. You can chat me up over there, and you book your seat in the upcoming boot camp. You get it? You book your seat for the upcoming boot camp. All right, guys. If anyone having a question, so thank you all for joining today's stream. You made it possible. If not you, this stream wouldn't have been possible. So thank you all. So I'll be live again on Tuesday, where I'm going to break down things. Okay, you're going to. So there was no opportunity. Gold was something that you could have taken, but I didn't come to the stream. So the time that it tapped the level, price has already moved. Okay, so this was the first entry you could have taken, but price already moved. This would have been a scalp trade, but price already moved. So maybe next time you will get a trade on the stream and you will take it together. All right. So if there was no question, is anyone having a question? So as I'm saying today, we're anticipating a rate cut on the FOMC news release. You're expecting, we're anticipating they will cut rates. So if they cut rate, the dollar is going to be what? Weak. So gold is going to rise. Anything that you are going to pair it with the dollar is going to be weak. You get it? The dollar is going to be weak. All right, guys. So see you all next time. Have a wonderful tradable week. See you. Bye bye.